we're in the Garmin booth, and I'm talking to Jake. Jake, good morning.
Good morning.
Some new stuff from Garmin this year.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited about it. As you know, we have the Edge 705, and that's been a really big hit, especially as it's been on the handlebars of Team Garmin, which gave us the best focus group in the world. And in talking with them and talking with our engineers, we wanted to find out what we could do to make it a little bit more race specific. And so we took the Edge 705 and we whittled it down to a bike computer that is half the size, at only 2 ounces. I mean, it's going to fit snug on your handlebars, it's going to ride well, and it's half the price. So at $249.99, it's going to be accessible to a lot of riders out there, and it's just a great training device. We just simply took out the map page of the Edge 705 and we put everything else in here, and so it's GPS-based speed, distance, time. You can do all your lap speeds, and also you can still download it to Garmin Connect.
Now, going back to the 705 includes mapping, color maps, turn-by-turn directions. Not necessarily something you're going to need if you're racing, but certainly something that's really good for somebody who's touring, adventure cycling.
Absolutely, yeah, and I'm a bike commuter myself, and so it's nice to be able to know where you're going and how to get there. And so again, that's why we don't think of it as a replacement for the Edge 705, because the Edge 705 is truly a navigation and performance device, and the Edge 500 is just more focused on training. So people that don't need the turn-by-turn directions, that don't need the points of interest in the maps, and so if you just want to get on your bike and race or ride or train, then you're going to be able to use the Edge 500, and because it's GPS based, you don't have to calibrate it to wheel size. You can bounce it from one bike to the other without changing your settings at all. And yeah, you're just ready to roll.
Now, but with the Edge 500, when I'm done with my ride, I come home, I connect it to my computer, and then what?
Then you send it to Garmin Connect, which is actually connect.garmin.com. It'll walk you through the stages, and then it'll show you not only your splits, your elevation, your heart rate, your power, whatever you have hooked up to, to your Edge that it's reading, but also it's going to show you your maps on a Google Map type setting. So you can look at it on satellite imagery. For example, I was over at the tour and I was able to do some rides and runs around Monaco, around Girona, and to be able to come home and look at those on a map is pretty amazing.
Share those with my friends as well?
Absolutely, yep. There's just one click that you can sit there and click and share. Yeah, it's simple as far as sending people to the website and be able to show off what you've done.
Yeah. And now you talked about a couple of other sensors there. You talked about speed, of course, cadence, and power. How does that work?
So a couple years ago when we announced the Edge 705, we announced that it was Ant Plus compatible. There's a company called Dynastream, and they've been developing Ant Plus, which is a lot like Bluetooth, but it uses less power so it doesn't chew up your battery, and it's very dedicated, so as soon as you're paired with a heart rate monitor, your computer knows that you're paired with that heart rate monitor, so I'm not reading your heart rate. And now we've made it an open protocol, so anybody who wants to come to the party can play, and we've had Quark, Ceres, SRM, a lot of big people who make great power meters already, and they'll all talk to the Edge 705 and the Edge 500. And so on one display, you can get all these different analytics.
Speaking of power, let's talk about battery life, because the 705 was an improvement over the 305's battery life.
Yep.
How's the battery life on the 500?
Up to 18 hours. So you're going to be able to go out and ride, and I tend to be a little forgetful. I sometimes forget to charge my batteries, and so with up to 18 hours of battery life, it's nice to know that my forgetful side won't get the best of me.
What's the price point for the Edge 500?
$249.99, and if you buy it bundled with a heart rate monitor and speed and cadence sensor, $349.99, and it's going to be available in December.
And where can people get more information?
Go to Garmin.com or Garmin.blogs.com, and that's where you can find out all about it.
You can also follow Jake on Twitter at
Jake's Journal.
Perfect. Jake, thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
This is David from the Fredcast. We're live from the show.